Hey, I'm Dean and this is Legacy Voyage. In season one, I'm documenting my journey to earning my first 100K net worth as a full-time college student. Join me as I share some of the lessons I learned along the way.
It's been a while since my last episode, so today I'm really going to talk about why that was the case. And just a warning, this episode is it's going to be kind of more real than the other episodes. Just because I've really been struggling to find motivation to do things and I'll talk more about that. First, I really want to tell an insight that I had when I was watching a video. It's this thing called the mind-body connection. And I'm not sure if other people talk about this or if they have really gone into detail. This is something that personally I have found in my life is that trash in the body, when you put trash in the body, you put trash in the mind. When you put trash in the mind, put trash in the body. And it's really connecting your mind and body, not seeing them as separate, but seeing them as one. And that's really what I found. And when I say trash, it's things that don't get you closer to your goals. For example, one of my goals this year, one of the goals I really set for myself is that I want to hit 16% body fat. And that's the number I really want to hit because that's the point where you start seeing abs and a six pack. And I've never had that in my life. And that's always been something that I was striving for ever since I was like in middle school doing I was looking at those six pack videos and I would do those workouts. But lately I've really been struggling with my diet in school because over here having so much freedom and also having the dining hall meal plan where I can check into a dining hall and then I can eat whatever I want. It's literally all you can eat. And it's such a deadly, man, it's deadly for sure because I catch myself in those dining halls. I'm not hungry at all, but I'll just keep eating. And that's what I found is that when I just keep eating and I put trash in my body, it brings trash in the mind because I'm not motivated to do my schoolwork, to work on my business. And it's really hard to put in that work. Now, flashback to quarantine when COVID first hit. I remember I was so excited. What was it, March 2020? It was announced that I would have no more seminary, wouldn't have to wake up at 5 in the morning anymore. No more school. And I was so excited. I could just stay at home, do whatever I wanted. But then a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks passed by, and man, that was rough. Because not only did I lose school and did I lose seminary and did I lose all these things that really put a schedule in my life, but I also lost rugby. And that I think was one of the toughest things to lose because man, I had so much fun doing that. And I lost working out because the only reason I would work out was for football in PE class where we just lift weights. And I lost that. And so slowly but surely, I was losing all these things that brought a schedule in my life. It brought purpose and it brought meaning into my life. But another thing I noticed was that I slowly started to dive into TikTok. And man, because before that, I was never on social media. Like even to this day, I'm not on Instagram, I'm not on Facebook. I'm not on all like the Snapchat and all the normal social media people are on, but that was when I dove into TikTok. And let me tell you, that was a dark time because I for real stayed up till 5 in the morning every night, even later than that, like 7 in the morning until the sun rose, and then that's the time I went to sleep. And I was just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And not only that, but I would just eat like crazy. I would eat all the junk food. I would eat all the food my mom made because she makes incredible food. And I found myself staring in the mirror, looking at my body and saying, is this my life? And it's hard to explain, but it was such a powerful time. It was such a, not a powerful, it was such a dark time in my life because I wasn't motivated to do anything. But eventually it got to the point where I was scrolling through TikTok and every now and then you would see these crazy transformation videos of people who were on there and they went through a fitness journey and then now they were able to get their life back on track. I was like, wow, like, keep scrolling, keep scrolling, keep scrolling. And slowly more and more fitness videos started popping up. I would scroll, like, I would keep scrolling. Some of them I would comment, keep scrolling. But then I got into fitness TikTok. And when I got into fitness TikTok, this is really what at first started my fitness journey and how I started to learn everything about dieting and working out and planning your meals and meal planning, meal prep. That's really when I started to dive into that and learn everything I can about that world. And then from that, I came to this point where I started waking up early in the morning and then I got into podcasts. I got into all the stuff that has really helped me in my life today. That's when I started getting into it. And the change was that I started taking in different content because it got to the point where I deleted TikTok. And that's what really helped me to make the change. And I'm not sure if people talk about this, but it's something that I call the destructive flywheel, where at first I put trash into my body. And again, let me remind you, trash is things that don't get you closer to your goals. For example, this can be a terrible diet, pizza, brownies, cookies, all the things that don't get you closer to your goal of I want to be healthy or your goal of I want to be skinnier. It's not only that, it's also alcohol, drugs, smoking, and it's not working out, not no cardio. So if you combine all these things and you put and you have trash input to your body, what you're gonna get is trash output of your body. You're gonna feel physically slow, bloated 24/7, tired, bad sleep. Man, that's the worst part. Having terrible sleep, because sleep is so important. When you have terrible sleep, that's when it really hits. And you feel sick, and then you start throwing up. And you have a bellyache wherever you go, and then you can't even walk. But not only does that happen to your body, but it also happens to your mind too, where you start feeling ashamed that you ate the cookie, ashamed that you drank the alcohol or did the drugs. But you also feel guilty and lazy, and mentally you're slow. You're not as sharp as you were before. You can't really think, and that's how your mind and body are connected. And then what does this lead to? You're lazy, you're slow, you're feeling unproductive, so you might as well scroll through social media. You might as well go watch a movie or go watch a show. And then you're putting all of these trash inputs into your mind. Then from those trash inputs, you feel even more ashamed that you didn't do your work and you were just on social media for that time. Or you feel even lazier than before. You feel even slower, even mentally slower than before. And then that leads to you feeling physically slower and physically tired. And it leads to bad sleep. And what does that lead to? It leads to trash input for your body. And then the cycle just keeps on going and going and going until it gets to the point where you hit a rock bottom and you feel terrible. And that's what I found in when I was in quarantine, and that's what I felt over these past couple weeks. Not even in the couple weeks. Yeah, actually a couple weeks in school. Is that I've just been scrolling on social media. Man, I had YouTube and I just spent so much time in it. I was scrolling through shorts like literally hour periods where I would just waste time. And then from that it would just lead to bad sleep, and it would lead to me eating terribly, which would lead to me feeling lazy and then not doing work and then going through YouTube again. And then the cycle would just continue, and then it would get worse and worse and worse, and everything just keeps compounding until the point where, man, I need to make a change. I need to turn this around, because along with the destructive flywheel, there's also opportunity costs, where it's not only you're taking in these trash inputs, but you're also foregoing and not taking in fire inputs. Now, let me explain. Fire inputs are things that actually get you closer to your goals. These are things that will actually progress you and get you healthier, get you more productive, make more money. These are the things that will get you to those goals. And the opportunity cost of you, for example, going and eating for an hour when you could have been spending a lot of that time into working out. And I don't say this to scare people and to say, oh, look at me, I figured everything out, because I have not figured any of this out. But I've just seen a pattern in my life that, to be honest, I've been going through over these past couple days. It's the reason I haven't been podcasting. It's the reason I haven't been active on LinkedIn. It's the reason that I've just been getting fat. Like right now, I think I hit 26% body fat, and that is the fattest I've ever been in my life. I'm also 230 pounds right now, and it's not muscle, it's fat. But the really good news is that we can reverse engineer the destructive flywheel for something that I call the productive flywheel. I have no idea if this is a thing or if someone has already discovered this. If it is, please let me know. But this is what the productive flywheel is. Basically, you change all the trash input into fire input. So your fire body input would be training, cardio, sports, but especially your diet. And if you can change all of that, then it brings fire body output. So you're feeling more energized, you get good sleep, you're feeling stronger, healthier, faster. And then from that, you have fire mind output. You feel happier, sharper, more productive, more driven. And then because you feel more driven and productive, you go out and then you take in fire mind input. You go read a book, listen to a podcast, go through a course, do some education. And then from taking in all this fire input in your mind, it then again leads to fire body output and mind output. So you get good work in your business, you get good work in school, you get good work in all of these other aspects of your life that are super important to you. And then it just drives you to go and work out even more, or go train even longer, or go do cardio, do sports, and at least a fire body input. So it's just this incredible flywheel effect where as long as you just keep on going, keep on doing this, then it can get you to your goals even faster. And that's what it's all about, is identifying your goals and then having this flywheel that'll get you to where you want to be. And then along with the opportunity costs of the destructive flywheel, there's also opportunity benefits with the productive flywheel, where now that you're taking in all these fire inputs, not only are you doing that, but you're also foregoing all the trash inputs. So now instead of it's better like this. Now you're at the gym working out, feeling good, feeling amazing, but not only are you doing that, you're also foregoing the hour that you could be spending eating brownies or at a buffet. And that's that's, I think, where the power of the productive flywheel is at. Now, keep in mind, I've really only discovered this literally last night. Man, it just came in my mind, and I felt like it was like an epiphany moment for me. It just exploded in my mind. And from what I've seen, or from these are just my thoughts, let me know if there's anything else. But there's two ways to break out of the destructive flywheel. The first way, and this is very difficult, is to change your body inputs. So it's to go to the gym, it's changing your diet, it's stopping drugs, alcohol, smoking, all of those things. And personally, I'm not sure if this is for anyone else, but those seem very difficult to me. Like, if you had some type of love for drugs or something, it seems like that would be very difficult to give up. Or in my experience, I mean, I am a cookie guy. Those cookies are my thing. And if I see cookies, that's what, like, in the dining hall, when I saw cookies, I would not stop until I ate like at least five. And then it would just spiral down into what I talked about before, the destructive flywheel. And that's what seems so difficult. But the other thing you could also do is change your mind inputs. So if you change the inputs that you put into your mind, if you change in the content that you take in, the media that you take in, then it can spiral into the productive flywheel. And it's this process that I've called CTC, cut the crap. Like, go to your YouTube and unsubscribe, unfollow all the things that aren't getting you closer to your goals. When I found out about this, I literally went to YouTube and I just unfollowed all of the terrible, not terrible, but all of the things that weren't getting me closer to my goals, like comedian stuff, singing stuff. Because although those things maybe feel good, they aren't getting me to where I want to be. So you cut it. And this goes for all social media. If you're on TikTok or Instagram, Facebook, you cut the things that aren't getting you to where you want to be. And I think what's really implied in saying all of this is that the most important thing is to establish your goals and is to establish exactly what you want in life. Because if you do really want to be a comedian, then of course go and listen to all the comedy shows and then see how you can improve. Or if you really want to be sorry, if you really want to go into fashion, then go and follow all the fashion channels and learn as much as you can about that. In my experience, I want to be an entrepreneur and I want to be in real estate. I think real estate is super interesting, and marketing and health, because I have a goal to hit this 16% body fat. And how am I going to hit that if I don't take things in my mind that where I learn about how to be healthier, how to set standards for myself to get to where I want to be? So all the podcasts I've listened to, all the books I'm reading, all the courses I'm working through, the common thread between all of those things is that it's getting me closer to my goals. And a really important note in all of this is that balance is key. Like, of course, you don't have to cut pizza and cookies out of your life completely, but don't go crazy with it. Don't eat 10 cookies and call it a day, or don't eat an entire box of pizza, because that's just terrible input for your mind and body. And then going off of that, you don't have to completely cut out all the music you listen to or all the movies that you watch. You can enjoy your life, but keep in mind you don't want to go crazy with that too. You don't want to be binge watching an entire series, and then next thing you know, it's 8 in the morning and then you have class in an hour. So really, these are just some of the things that I've learned, and it's really just me thinking out loud because I'm trying to implement this stuff in my life right now. I don't say all these things to show that, oh, look at me, I'm high and mighty. It's to humanize myself, because I think a lot of people look at me from the outside, especially. They look at me and see, oh, this dude, he's going on to do big things, working on businesses and going to school. But it's also to say that I struggle too. Like, I struggle with my health. I struggle with motivation. I struggle with all these things too. And before I end, I want to share a little story. So the other night, I was hanging out with some friends. We're just talking, hanging out. And then I somehow it came into the conversation. But when I was in sixth grade, we did those time capsule things. You know, those things where you would write in sixth grade to your future self when you're a senior. And then the way it works is I would give this to my teacher. And then when I graduate, she would somehow mail it to me. And then I would receive it as a senior. And then I'd be able to read with it. And I was thinking back to that. Because in sixth grade, I wanted myself to be like going to the NFL, the dream was to be a 49er and winning the Super Bowl. That was the dream. And when I brought this up, a friend told me, he was like, we could have. You could have. I was like, no, I can't, man. Those other dudes are jacked, they're buff, way faster than me. There's no way I could have been there. And he was like, yeah, you're tall enough. There's people in the NFL who are your height and they did it. So why can't you? And I thought about that. And my mind was blown. I was like, man, those people, they were just like me. I could have been there. They just put in the work. They were in the gym running those sprints, doing doing the footwork, lifting the weights. They put in the work to be there. And I was thinking even more about that is there's this dude in the NFL who literally doesn't have a hand. Like he has a prosthetic hand and he was able to make it to the NFL. Think about that for a second. It's crazy to think about because it was a limiting belief on myself that, man, there's no way I could have made it to the NFL because I'm not tall enough, I'm not fast enough, I'm not strong enough. When in reality, I was capable of being strong enough, or I am capable of being fast enough. And this is something that is called, I call it the Mozi method. Is that so? Someone asked Alex or Mozi, they came up to him. It was a friend of him, or it was in an interview, and the question was, what is your inner dialogue with yourself? I mean, what do you say to yourself on a regular basis, day to day? What's that voice in your mind saying to you? And something he said was that he's really just trying to convince himself that he is capable of where he wants to be. So what I'm trying to start doing is instead of saying, why am I fat, right? Because I'm sure a lot of us might be saying that to ourselves. Why am I fat? Why am I broke? Why am I not doing well in school? It shifts into, I'm capable of being a billionaire, right? I'm capable of having a six pack. I'm capable of being skinny. I'm capable of doing all these things that I want to be doing in my life. And now that I started doing that, I've really only started today and it's shifted my mind. I hope that it'll continue to be that way because I had so many limiting false beliefs where I can't achieve the things that I want to. But now instead of that, it becomes I'm capable of. And I think if we really focus on what we actually are capable of, what we actually can do in life, that's where the magic happens. That's where we can really start changing the world. And yeah, man, I hope this podcast really helps someone out there because I think even me sharing the things that I'm learning and sharing the struggles that I'm going through right now, I think it's really helped me put things into perspective and it's really helped me voice my thoughts. So I hope it helps someone out there and I'll see you next episode. Till then, tautoxio.